Theories of meaning. It is yet an interesting topic in semantics. In this lecture, we are going to learn about different theories of meaning. So let's start our lecture. So let's first see what is theories of meaning. Basically, theories of meaning are linguistic frameworks in which it is explained that what is meaning, how the meaning and words are related to each other, and how communication works. Okay, basically in theories of meaning we understand what is the relationship between the meaning and words. There are different theories of meaning. One of the earliest theories of meaning is denotational theory of meaning. It is basically the theory of meaning which posits that words and linguistic expressions get their m- meaning from direct relationship with objects, properties, or events in the real world. What is meant by this is that there is direct relationship between the object and the word which it is representing. For example, the word tree actually related to the tree in realistic world, and when we say the word tree, we are thinking about the object tree that is present in real world. Or similarly, the book refers to physical book. Cat refers to animal called a animal. According to this theory, understanding a word means knowing what object or concept it refers to. You do not understand the word unless you don't know the object that it refers to. Okay, this is basically the denotational theory of meaning. Let's see what are the main principles of the denotational theories of meaning. It basically first principle is word refer to objects and entities in the real world. Meaning is based on the reference denotation. Denotation means the object that it is referring to. The meaning of the word tree is based on the object that it is referring to. Okay. Understanding a word means identifying its referent. A referent means object. For example, tree. Understanding the word tree means identifying the object tree. Okay. Language functions by linking words with real objects. Okay. This was first theory of denotational. The first theory of meaning, but it is limited. It does not define the fictional world, different complex word that we use in our daily life. Okay, like it does not define the god. What is god? We do not see it, we do not know which object it refers to, but we know the meaning of god. Okay, so this theory does not define these different complex words, the words which we cannot sense or touch. Okay, another theory is mentalist theory of meaning. Basically, mentalist theory of meaning states that meaning of a word exists in the mind of a speaker or listener rather than the external world. Okay, according to this theory, what when we hear a word, or when we utter a word, when we read a word, it creates a mental concept, image, or idea. Okay, for example, I am saying angel. There is the mental concept. I have idea of the angel. That is why I understand the word angel. Okay, there is mental representation of that word in my mind. Okay, unlike denotational referential theory, which says that meaning comes from the relationship between words and real world object, mentalist theory argues that meaning is based on mental concepts. Okay, for example, when you hear the word tree, you do not need to look at a real tree. Instead, you immediately run from a mental image or concept of a tree in your mind. Okay, let's see what are its main principles. First is meaning exists in the mind. Okay, meaning, the meaning of the word exists in the mind. Okay, words evocate mental images, ideas, or concepts. Okay, concepts mediate between words and the world. Okay, word and words, what is the relationship between them? Mental concepts. Okay, experience influence meaning. It means the idea that is in your mind influence the meaning of a word. Okay, and language reflects its thought. Language reflects thought. How? Because the language that we are talking is in our mind, and in our mind there are thoughts. Okay, so this was very easy theory. Now let's see the other theory, which is sense theory of meaning. Sense theory of meaning basically argue state the meaning of a word is determined by its sense, that is, concept, description, or relationship it has with other language rather than simply by the object it refers to. Okay, it basically says that the person do not need to know or identify the real world reference to which the word is referring to. It was basically developed by Gottlob Frege in his famous essay on sense and reference in 1892. Frege distinguished between sense and reference. Okay, basically, sense theory is that the meaning of a word lies in its sense. Okay, sense. What do you understand by the word? It is sense. Okay, the idea or description conveyed by a word. Reference is the actual object. Okay, tree is the actual object which is reference, and the sense. What is tree? It is basically the plant that gives shade. Okay, it is living organism. It gives us different benefits. This is sense. This is the idea that is given by that word tree. It is sense basically, and the reference is the actual object. The actual tree is the reference. Okay, it is written here that sense is the information or concept associated with the world that enables us to understand it. It inserts the questions, what does this expression means, rather than what object does it refer to. Okay, the example here that is given is morning star and evening star. Now, morning star and evening star both refer to the same object, Venus. Okay, Venus is also called morning star and also it is called evening star, but they have different senses. Morning star has different senses, evening star has different senses. Morning star has sense that the bright object seen in morning, that is why it is called morning star, and evening star because the brightest object seen in the evening is evening star. Thus, the reference is same here, Venus, but sense is different. Okay. Now, Frakes has distinguished between the sense and reference. Sense is basically the way an object is presented, mental or conceptual meaning. Okay. And reference is the actual object itself. It is real world entity, usually one object. Okay. Example is given here. Same morning star and evening star. Sense different descriptions. Morning star because seen in the morning, and evening star because seen in the evening. References both referred to same planet Venus. You can see it in the example 2 that the author of the Hamlet. Who is the author of the Hamlet? William Shakespeare. Okay, and William Shakespeare both refer to same reference, but they have different sense. Okay. Main principles of sense theory state meaning is more than reference. Two expressions may refer to the same object but still have different meaning because their sense is different. Okay, sense helps us identify the referent, and sense exists even without a referent. Okay, some expressions have sense but no real world reference. The present king of France. This phrase has clear sense, but currently it has no actual reference because there is no monarchy in the France, so there is no any king in the France. But we know the meaning of that expression, the present king of France. Okay, sense depends on the language. Words gain meaning through their relationship between other words and concepts within language system. Okay, importance of sense theory. This theory explains why are synonymous similar but not always identical. Okay, why can two expressions with same referent can convey different information? We saw that in Morning Star and Evening Star, how people understand fictional and descriptive expressions because we know the sense and it was not present in the denotational theory. Okay, why cannot meaning be explained only by reference? Okay, now the other theory is use theory of meaning. The use theory of meaning states that the meaning of a word is determined by how it is used rather than the object it refers to. Okay, according to this theory, to understand the meaning of a word, we must examine its use in different social and linguistic context. Okay, this theory basically emphasizes the use, not the actual object. Okay, it was developed by Ludwig Wittgenstein in his book Philosophical Investigations. He rejected the idea that every word is a fixed meaning based on only reference or mental concepts. Instead, he argued meaning of a word is its use in the language. We can take another example. For example, the word head. Now, head word, we know the head, what is head, but it its meaning can be different based on its use. For example, I can say that head of a building. Okay, it has different meaning. Head of the body, it has different meaning. Head of the bottle, it has different meaning. So the meaning of the word is dependent on the use, how we use that word. Okay, definition: the use theory of meaning states that the meaning of a word depends on how it is used in communication within particular language context and social situation. Okay, so key principles, let's see what are the key principles. Meaning depends on the use. Okay, that we saw in the example of body. Context is essential. You cannot understand the word if you do not understand the context. For example, the word body, same body, you cannot understand it unless you don't know context, how it is used. Language is a social activity. People learn language by observing how words are used in everyday life. Okay, there is no fixed meaning. Words can have different meanings depending on the speaker, listener, and context. Okay, and this we can say that, for example, sister. In general, family, we know what sister is. Okay, female version of brother. But but in medical, sister means nurse. So the meaning of words depend upon the context or situation or the speaker who is talking to. Example, bank. I deposited money in the bank. Now, here, bank means financial institution, but the children said on the bank of a river. Here, bank means side of a river. Same word has different meaning because it is used differently. Now, Wittgenstein also gave the most famous idea of language games. A language game is a different way language is used in different activities. For example, in giving orders, asking questions, making promises, greeting someone, telling jokes, praying, teaching. Each activity has its own rule and the meaning of words depend on this. For example, the word out mean different things in different language games. For example, in cricket, batsman is dismissed. In football, the bar has left the field. At home, someone should leave the room. This theory says that the context determines meaning, and context is very much important. For example, it's called here possible meaning, simple observation. A request to close the window, a request to turn on the heater. The intended meaning depends on the situation or context. So these were the theories of meaning. We understood the denotational theory of meaning. Denotational theory of meaning is basically refers to that there is direct relationship between the object and the word that is representing the object. Okay, we took the example of tree. Then the other is mentalist theory of meaning. It means that the word and the idea that we have in mind are related, not the object, not the physical object. Sense theory of meaning says that meaning of a word is determined by its sense, and use theory of meaning refers that the meaning of the word depends on the use of word. Okay, I hope you understood these theories of meaning and you like this lecture. If you liked, kindly please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and comment what you want to know more. Thank you. That's it for today.